You were telling me that you wanted kids to really understand what was going on in the testing process and for them to have a positive narrative coming in to see you. So you started using this tool. Can you explain what this is and a little bit about how you use it?
Absolutely. So this is a learning snapshot, kind of a one-page summary that I started using with the students that I work with following their evaluation sessions with me. And modeled off of your work, it has 4 sections. The first is highways, the things that the student is really good at, or what we kind of discovered as super strengths for them during their assessment. Construction zones, what skills they're kind of working on next, things that will eventually become highways for them. And then helpful words I've been using as student self-advocacy. I've realized that a lot of the students that I work with have a really hard time once they've recognized, okay, I'm in a construction zone, how do I, in a non-embarrassing way, let my teacher know that I need some more support? So I've used that section as more of what words can I say, whether it's a super secret signal to that classroom teacher or a phrase that will help them get access to the supports or the tools that they might need. And then the last are the tools, and then the construction crew or the people at home or at school that can help them working, to work towards those construction zones turning into highways.
Cool. And so can you walk us through how you use this in a session with a student?
Sure. So what I've done with this learning snapshot so far is I kind of pre-fill a couple things, particularly in the highways, and I've left the other 3 sections mostly blank. Sometimes I'll write one thing in the construction zone if I need to talk about something specific with a student. But usually when I'm sitting down with that student, I have this snapshot ready to go with at least a couple highways written down. And then I just, we come to my testing space and I say, okay, you remember how at the beginning I said we were going to kind of figure out how your brain works, how you learn best. Well, we've figured it out and I'm ready to share some things with you. And so I'll talk about, okay, do you remember when I asked you to do this task, and kind of, we worked with blocks. Do you remember that being really easy for you? And you kept wanting to do more and more. I put that down as a super strength or as a highway for you because that came really easily. Your brain was moving really quick. Do you remember that? And yeah, of course, and things like that. And we'll talk about more highways that we've uncovered together. And then I'll ask the student, do you remember any other highways that I haven't written down yet? And they'll share, oh, I remember, having to write some sentences. That was easier for me, or whatever the case may be. And then once we've got the highways, okay, that's great. And then we move to construction zones. And I kind of, just like we talked about when I very first met you and I was asking you if there was anything that was tricky, you mentioned math. And so not too surprising that shows up here in our current construction zones, but it's something we're going to work on, right? And sharing some things. And was there anything else that was tricky for you that we didn't talk about, during the evaluation sessions? And so they might add something there. And then we jump to, okay, when we're in that construction zone, we've hit that roadblock. What can we do in the classroom or at home during homework time to help? What could we say? Kind of replacement phrases or behaviors than just I'm shutting down, head on desk, things like that. And so we talk about, okay, well, we could say, I need help. And that sounds kind of obvious, but sometimes kids need help just saying, I need help with this. So we write down some phrases or some things they can do, even super secret signals, like if I hold up this amount of fingers, then my teacher knows that I need help with this or I'm stuck. And then for tools and construction crew, I have the student generate with me, all right, who are the adults that you know that help you with these types of things? And then we'll write down, okay, my mom helps me with this, or my teacher's helping me with this, or my granny's helping me with this. And so we're able to kind of write down all of the adults that are supporting them as they're working through that construction zone. And at the very end of the learning snapshot, I kind of say, okay, so this was a lot of information from the very beginning, the first time we met all the way till now. How do you feel? And the responses are always really great. My favorite one still is a 4th grade student who said to me, I feel so alive. And I said, what does that mean? And he just said, I feel like I really understand why this is hard, and now every time I see him in the hallways and um things like that, he's just, you Mrs. Jason, and we connected in such a cool way, and helping him to feel like, okay, I was really seen. This lady really understood what was going on with me. I think that was really powerful.
That's awesome. Any kind of like tips or modifications for different kinds of students that you've worked with in using this tool?
Some things that I think it would be helpful for school psychologists to anticipate, I guess, is students that are maybe more shy or aren't as expressive, maybe just having a little bit more pre-filled, with the focus on, starting on highways, but maybe having some construction zones and helpful words ready to go so that students aren't having to feel like they have to generate it completely by themselves. That might be a little bit helpful. But so far, especially since I'm front loading it with that strengths-based interview, I'm really finding that most students are really open and wanting to talk about all these different sections, which is really great. I've never had this much engagement in their own testing. So
Fantastic. And then any other ways that you've seen that this has been really helpful for your assessments in the broader scheme?
I've really found that the parents or caregivers that I work with, they really like this. And even classroom teachers, we are a leader in me building. And so that's, the character education, social emotional. And so it's been really neat to kind of incorporate this. And classroom teachers have said, Rachel, this is really cool. Can we add this to their leadership binder that goes home and help celebrate this with them? And parents have responded, thank you so much for actually taking the time to really get to know, my child. So it's a one piece of paper, but it just has impacted really positively, not just the student that I'm working with, but their family, their classroom, their classroom teacher, and it's just been really great.
Thank you.